Retired FBI Special Agent Bobby Chacon. You hear that? You hear that interview? He has firm belief that Amanda could still be alive out there. She went missing May 8th in this hiking trail. You see what they've done with the search. Other than what they're doing, is there any other way or anything else they should be doing to find this girl?
No, they're doing exactly what they should be doing, Lynn. They're putting a lot of people downrange, looking in the area where they think she is. There's no reason to believe there was foul play. There's every reason to believe, like Benjamin said, that she went for a trail run in this reserve. However, you know, remember, this is probably pretty rough terrain. It's very dense forest there, and so if she did take a slip and fall off the trail, she could be down in an area that's very difficult to get to, very difficult for rescuers to find her. Now, the one thing about human beings is we can go a long time without food, but we need water. The good thing is Hawaii has a lot of water on it. It's these rainforests there, and there's a lot of vegetation. There's a lot of water in the area, the pools and stuff. So if she needs that and she's in a place where she can get to it, water is pretty abundant there. So, if she did fall, if she's injured, there's reason to believe that she could still be alive. The searchers are doing exactly what they should be doing. I've been involved in a number of these searches, both as a searcher and supervising these searches, and you have to take it slow. At some point, you also have to look out for your searchers. People that are searching in this area could, be injured as well just by searching. So you have to take it slow, but they're doing that. They're using all the right tools. They're using dogs. They're using infrared technology. They're mapping everything to make sure that nothing gets missed, that each area of the map is gridded out, and each grid is searched and then cleared and then moved on to the next grid. So they're doing exactly what they should be doing. It's just that in this type of terrain, these type of searches take time.
We know that there were search dogs out there. They picked up her scent, then it went cold. What does that usually mean?
Well, it usually means that the person was transported, either went somewhere else. So if she's running along a trail and if she falls off that trail into a steep terrain, the dog might not be able to go down that terrain. He might lose the scent right at that trail. And so you have to look around where the scent is lost, and could the person have been moved or moved themselves through whatever means away from that point. So if you go down into a ravine, for example, the dog might just stop at the trail's edge because it can't get down there, and that would account for her being injured and not being able to contact people. So yeah, so I think that they're doing everything they can. The dogs have obviously indicated in there, there's every reason to believe that the situation is just as Benjamin just described it, that she went for a trail run and then, maybe had an accident.
Yeah, and he's holding out hope. We are as well. Bobby, stay with me for this. Nearly 10 years after she went missing, a new tip has sparked hundreds of volunteers to search for Utah mom Susan Powell. You remember Powell? She went missing from her home near Salt Lake City, Utah in December of 2009. And police had zeroed in on her husband, Josh, as the prime suspect. He told them that he had gone camping with their two boys when Susan disappeared, but cops believed he killed Susan and drove out into the desert with the children in the car to dispose of her body. Josh Powell was never charged, though in 2012, he blew up his own house in Washington State, killing himself and his two boys. Susan was never found, but the Utah Cold Case Coalition says it received a tip that some mine shafts were never searched back in 2009. And over the weekend, they actually dropped cameras down the shaft to search for Powell. Hundreds of volunteers also surveyed areas in surrounding ground camps. So I want to bring back in Bobby Chacon now, and what you make of this new tip that came in.
Well, originally there was some discussion years ago about her body possibly being in a mine or in a cave, and I believe some were searched. So it really, this is a matter of, you can't search everything, and so the police, I think at the time, directed their search to the mines or the caves where he most likely could have accessed. So now it looks like, I don't know what the tip is, the more recent tip, but they're expanding those searches. They're searching now the mines that were never covered, in an effort to just leave no stone unturned in looking for her. But I believe in the beginning, or at some point early on, some of the mines were searched. Now again, these are very difficult areas to search. I would not recommend people going into a mine or into a cave that doesn't have the skills necessary both to survive in those environments and to conduct a search properly. So these people have the special skills to do that and special equipment to be doing that.
And also, as you point out, these mines not safe. There are also so many of them. I mean, is this kind of like finding a needle in the haystack?
I think it really is. I think you're right, Lynn. And I think that what the police did initially was kind of narrow it down and go to the mines or the caves that had the highest probability that he might have accessed. In other words, if they knew he was in a car and he had to transport the body, so go to a mine that was easily accessible by car, those type of things. So I think they probably narrowed it down. They couldn't search them all. And so now you're seeing teams getting out there searching the rest of them.
And from what I understand, the tip that came in, it was based on something Josh had said, obviously, in the past.
Yeah, I don't know the details of the tip, but, you know, obviously that, you know, the case is over from a law enforcement perspective. They think they know who did it. He has now killed himself. And so, you know, this turns to a effort to help the family and the volunteers that are out there, you know, running down these leads and running down these tips, to be commended for, you know, efforts in this type of thing, because these are not easy searches to conduct.
Well, Bobby Chacon, thanks for being with us. We appreciate your insight.
Thank you.